Am I really quitting? Yes, I'm quitting. I don't know for how long, but I'm just not gonna make music right now.
After XXXTentacion met Ski Mask the Slump God behind bars, and the pair would go on to develop a close friendship and collaborate on countless songs.
I met X in juvenile jail. We both was in juvenile jail spending time. Then we just was like, yeah, we need an outlet to just stop getting in trouble. X recorded my first song. He ordered the stuff off of eBay. It was like a snowball mic. It was like the cheapest mic you could get.
After X blew up as an iconic SoundCloud rapper, charting Billboard with tracks like Jocelyn Flores, Fuck Love, Take a Step Back, Revenge, and Look at Me. X would grow a massive fan base from behind bars, become a 2017 XXL freshman, and sign deals with major labels, but then take to Instagram to announce that he would be calling it quits.
I really just want to move on with my life and just go somewhere else, to be honest. I just want to leave the US. Shit is corrupt.
X has been a controversial figure in the world of SoundCloud rap ever since he entered the spotlight. He's had more than his fair share of beefs, legal troubles, and incidents during performances. He shocked the world introducing his radical new look, and now just a few weeks later he shocked his fans even more with his decision to quit music. So why is he throwing in the towel? Well, the main reason seems to be a falling out between him and his closest friend and collaborator, Ski Mask the Slump God. X has stated that he would make new music if Ski Mask will be his friend again. I happen to have Slump God's phone number, so I decided that I would do whatever I could to repair this bromance. Alright, so this is actually Ski Mask's number. We were supposed to do an interview months ago, and then he kind of just like flaked out on me. But I got it right here. I'm calling him.
Please stand by while we complete your long-distance call. To avoid this message, please dial 1 before a 10-digit long-distance number.
What's going on, guys? My name's Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of XXXTentacion after his initial rise to fame, here for you on After They're Famous. And now before you get your panties in a knot in the comment section, I know, he's still famous. We're just talking about the after party. I've covered the come-up stories of both X and Ski Mask on Before They're Famous, so be sure to check out those videos if you haven't already. Also, let me know who you want me to document next in the comments down below. Also, remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at McCrudden. XXXTentacion was born Jose Onfroy in Plantation, Florida on January 23, 1998. He was raised primarily by his mother and later his grandmother after he was kicked out of his mom's house. He developed a strong interest in music, listening to both hip-hop and rock acts. His aunt helped to encourage his budding musical skills and got him in singing lessons. He also learned to play the guitar and the piano. But despite having music as a consistent outlet throughout his life, much of his childhood was troubled. While his relationship with his mother was generally positive, X claims that she mentally abused him. While he was a child, one of her boyfriends physically abused her, prompting X to attack him. X would also bring violence into the schoolyard, often getting into brawls, which led to him getting expelled from Margaret Middle School. He got kicked out of at least one other school for fighting, and at one point was put in a behavioral correctional facility called the Sharing House, and spent 9 months at the boot camp.
I'm pussy now. I gotta be pussy because I got money. So yeah. If you see me on the street, don't beat me up. I'm sorry about beating your ass.
In his teens, X racked up a slew of charges including armed robbery, possession of a firearm, resisting arrest, and possession of narcotics. He was targeted by drive-by shootings and took a bullet in the shoulder, and after dropping his first song, Vice City, in March of 2014, he was sent to a youth detention center for gun possession. It was here that he would meet the man with whom he would develop a close friendship and working relationship.
I met him in fucking jail.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
The two became friends in prison, bonding over their love of music and their shared ambition to become recording artists. According to Ski Mask, both artists learned from each other. X taught Ski Mask to be more aggressive and confident in his rapping, and Ski taught X to have a smoother, more natural flow. Once they both got out, they formed the Very Rare Collective and started to bubble up on SoundCloud. But just as X's career began to take off, he was arrested again in July of 2016, this time on charges of robbery and assault with a deadly weapon. While on the inside, the hashtag FreeX would trend. X posted bail, but on October 8th of the same year, he was arrested again, this time on a string of domestic abuse related charges. X was accused of aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, domestic battery by strangulation, false imprisonment, and witness tampering. While in jail, X would get involved with a beef with Drake over Drake apparently stealing the flow of X's song Look At Me for his song KMT. At the same time, Ski Mask would get involved in a feud with Rob Stone, which would turn violent. Ski would be attacked during a performance, X would get involved in the beef himself, defending his friend after his release from jail. He too would be assaulted on stage. But these wouldn't be the only acts of violence occurring at XXXTentacion shows. In June of 2017, he punched an audience member during a show in Salt Lake City, Utah. A few days later, he canceled his show last minute in Chicago, which nearly caused a riot. After the August release of his debut studio album, 17, he held a free show in Tampa at a venue only large enough for 750 people. When over 3,000 showed up, the venue canceled the concert, leading to fans having to be dispersed by police.
No, you're fucking playing. Oh, there's the cops right there. There's the cops right there.
All the while, X's pending domestic abuse charges would continue to mar his reputation. With his trial then set for October of 2017, Pitchfork got their hands on the alleged victim's deposition and published a grim timeline of the relationship. According to that deposition, X threatened to penetrate her with a barbecue implement, beat her with hangers, locked her in a room for 2 days, threatened to cut out her tongue, put a knife to her throat, and threatened to murder her on a nearly daily basis. On top of this, again according to that Pitchfork article, he also repeatedly slapped, punched, elbow choked, tackled, and headbutt her, all while she was allegedly pregnant. X of course denies all the accusations and is frustrated with the way he was being portrayed in the media. He posted this to Instagram. "I will not have fabricated stories pushed on me and have people trying to make me submissive off some shit I ain't do. I'm good." He would go on to delete everything off his Instagram page and post a new picture of himself in late September, sporting his new look. Eyebrows shaved, dreads gray, and with a brand new forehead tattoo of a tree. But despite all the negative attention X was getting, he could continue to reap the awards from his loyal fan base. His fans voted him into the 10th spot on the XXL's 2017 freshman class list. His debut studio album 17 debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 88,000 units in its first week. And it wasn't long before major labels would be knocking down his door. On October 19, 2017, Billboard reported that XXXTentacion signed a $6 million record deal with the Capitol Music Group indie label, Caroline. Later that day, Variety reported that a source close to the deal said that the dollar figure is likely overstated, that it was a distribution deal, and that the artist was not being signed directly to the label. Variety also claimed that it was unclear whether the deal was actually completed. Still, it seemed like good news for X, but it signaled the beginning of a downward spiral. About a week later, X took to Instagram to post, "Terminating my deal with Capitol Records, I'm not a signed artist and I will not be releasing music for a very long time. I'm tired of this shit." He would go on to post, "Sad to announce I will not be making or releasing any music. I'm tired of being mentally abused for trying to help people. I'm tired of the hate. I'm done." X has claimed that he even has a whole project completed and ready to release, but he's not releasing it. He also warned fans to download his music while they still can, because he was planning to delete all his songs off of SoundCloud. So why would one of the fastest rising rappers decide to suddenly give up? Well, there could be many factors at play here, but the main reason seems to be more personal than professional, specifically his relationship with his closest associate, Ski Mask the Slump God.
If you want me to make music, tell Ski Mask to be my friend again. Tell Ski Mask to be my friend again and I will make music.
During an Instagram live session with his fans, X went into further details about why he and Ski Mask are having issues. He stated, "It was just, I guess, a lack of appreciation on his end. Not because of me, I guess just from a business perspective. But he put a business perspective before a personal relationship, and I've been with him as a friend and as a brother for a very long time." He went on to say that the relationship mattered to him, but that people use you to go where they want to go and then part ways. "And I've been used a lot if you haven't noticed."
I mean, for a while, nigga, it was only me and my best friend, and nigga, that was Ski, and nigga, I don't have that.
In the same live stream, he was asked who his favorite rapper is.
Who's your favorite artist right now? Still Ski. Ski, my favorite artist.
Ah, that was kind of sweet. As for Ski Mask's side of the story, he explained that there are 2 reasons for wanting to distance himself. The first is to distinguish himself as an individual. Sure enough, Ski Mask is often painted as X's sidekick. The two developed their careers together and collaborated on a ton of work. Sure, it's been a fruitful relationship, but it's hard to find an interview with Ski where he isn't asked about X. That's gotta be frustrating considering how talented Ski Mask is in his own right. I mean, the guy can obviously spit. As for the other reasons Ski wanted a break from X,
on top of that nigga crazy as hell.
he probably didn't mean much by that, although it might be a subtle reference to some of X's erratic behavior, like his drastic change in appearance when he dyed his dreads gray, shaved off his eyebrows, and then got a forehead tattoo of a tree, or perhaps the brutal acts of domestic abuse that X is alleged to have committed. X's trial, by the way, is now scheduled to begin on December 11th, but in the end, Ski Mask has been clear about his feelings for X.
I'll always love that alien looking nigga named XXX.
So the issue seems simple to me. XXXTentacion just wants Ski Mask to be his friend again. Ski Mask just wants to spend some time not working with X, but says he will always love him. So why can't they just be friends but not work together? Just like, at least for a little bit. I called Ski Mask to ask if he would agree to that, and here's what happened.
Leave a message after the tone.
Hey Ski Mask, Michael McCrudden here from Before They Were Famous. I'm hoping we can get an interview going soon, but the reason I'm calling you today is I want to know if you'll be X's friend again. And I know you want to pursue your solo career, and that makes total sense, but you've also said that you will always love him. So I'm wondering if you would be willing to, be his friend again, just on a personal buddy kind of level. I know you guys both mean a lot to each other, and I hope you can find out a way that you can be bros again. Even if you're not actually recording music together, it'd be cool. And it would get X back out, making music. Okay, that's pretty much it. I hope we can still do that interview. I haven't shared this number with anyone. Okay, Michael McCrudden from Before They Were Famous. Bye. At the time of this recording, I have yet to hear back from the Slump God, but I'm sure the message resonated with him. So if you guys ever see X release music again, you know who to thank. As for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see because this is after they're famous. I know, he's still famous. But you get it now, what we do here, right? My name is Mike McCrudden. Thanks for watching this video. I've got 2 suggested videos for you down below. Be sure to hit subscribe if you're new to this channel. I read all the comments, at least I try to. You can always find me on Twitter or Instagram. I do read all of those. It's at McCrudden. See you guys in the next video. Go!